Good morning. I'm happy to say, and it's Thursday here in the Niagara region, I'm happy to say that feeling a lot better. A week and a half, maybe a little longer, took me to feel better. I was basically struggling with cough, cold, stuffed up, headaches. Really, I wouldn't. I'm not sure it was the flu, but it was not a good situation. Now I'm my first day off this week, and I feel a lot better. And I want to talk today about some things. And my name is Derek Mitchell. If you've not watched any of my videos before, I want to thank you for joining. If you have watched, I want to thank you for joining. So thank you very much for spending some time with me today. So, as most of you know, an advocate of eating ketogenically, low carb, extremely low carb, very low carb as they call it. Basically, try to keep it under 20 total grams per day, maybe 30 depending on your sensitivity to insulin. But what I want to talk to you today is about overall health, and I'm going to be trying something in November. I don't know how long it's going to last because I've never done long-term fasts before. But when I say long-term, I guess it's debatable about what the definition of long-term is. But I'm going to at least take it one day at a time until I see how long a fast lasts. But I'm going to do a fast. Basically, I've done intermittent fast for several months now. And I actually mentioned this to some family members and got some flack on it saying it's not healthy. I honestly have done a lot of research on it and believe that fasting is healthy. I think it helps heal your organs. I think it helps improve uh, your hunger desires. It reduces your insulin sensitivity and makes you more resistant to insulin. Um, Lots of different benefits for fasting, but I'm going to give it a try. I call this an experiment. I'm going to be very careful to listen to my body. If there's any time that I feel that this isn't working for me, I'll stop it. But my goal is, and we're on the 22nd of October. I'm planning on starting this on November 1st, and we'll see how long it lasts. And so what I'm going to do is I'm planning on is essentially eating no solid food, but eating bone broth, basically just like a soup mixture of bone broth and water and some coffee and other low calorie or no calorie drinks. Basically, that is what I call this fast. And technically, it may not be a fast based on that definition, but that is what I'm going to try to do. Essentially, it'll be very low calorie. Things like there's myths out there. Some people believe it that it actually it reduces your metabolism. And I believe, based on the research that I've done, is that it increases your metabolism. That it also allows your, as I said, your internal organs to heal. I'm just going to see here one second. I have a list of them here. One thing that I like to look at the practical function. They say ketogenic eating itself is supposed to reduce brain fog, but fasting allows you to be a clearer thinker. It clears up your mind, lets you focus on things because you're not focusing on the food that you're going to eat next meal. Um, like I said, improves hunger. It does improve your metabolism. There was one, not that I'm not worrying about that too much, but it also, of course, will if you're fasting effectively, it's going to lose on average, and I'm taking this from a doctor that I've been watching along with another person on who does podcasts. But basically, the doctor, a Toronto doctor, who basically talks a lot about fasting, and he indicates that on average, and you could lose more weight, but a lot of it's water weight. On average, you should lose about half a pound of fat per day. You could lose it more in weight. That includes water weight. Could depending on your insulin sensitivity, it could be more. You could lose a pound or two a day, depending for the first little while. Overall, though, it's going to average out to a half a pound of fat per day of the fast. And hopefully, once you start eating normally again, that you'll retain a lot of that weight loss that you did. Now, I don't need to lose a lot of weight, but I'd like to lose a few pounds. My focus, though, is to see how I feel, not being dependent on the food sources that are around me. I want to see. I call this an experiment. I want to see about fasting. I've done intermittent fasting, like I said, for several months, and now I want to see how an overall fast works. I don't know how many days I'll last. If I ever get to the point where I'm just really struggling, I'm going to stop that fast. Even if it's just one day into it, I will stop it. I'm very conscious of my health. This concept is to improve my health, not to affect it negatively. So, what I'll do is I'm going to report back on it as I'm going to try to do it daily. But once the beginning of November comes, I'm going to do videos about how I'm feeling, where I'm going with it, and go from there. It's important that you keep your electrolytes strong. You don't want to lose salt. You want to make sure you have enough salt during that period of fasting. You want to have enough liquids, fluids. Water is very, very important. There are other concepts about how you fast, but I want to keep it fairly simple. So I'm not going to get it too big deal, but I do want to have like a bone broth each day. And water, lots of water, some coffee, probably decaf because I don't want to get caffeine stimulated too much during that period. And I want to feel like I have something in me, but I still want to be able to be saying that I'm fasting. So we'll see what that works out like. Um, After my last cheat day, which was two cheat days in a row, I got back to last week. I got back to low carbing and I'm feeling a lot better. I haven't got back down to my pre-cheat weight, but I'm about 3 pounds heavier than that, so I'm about 189 right now. Say 3 or 4 pounds heavier. Um, I'm sure that once the fast happens, that I'll take it way below that. But I want to see where it goes. I want to focus on health, improving the body and how it responds to eating. I tend to have a large appetite, so I'm hoping that reduces the amount of food that I consume as well. So it's a fairly nice fall day today, Thursday, October 22nd. It's supposed to get a little cooler tomorrow, but it's supposed to be relatively nice in October. It was last week pretty cool. We got down to freezing one morning when I got up and ready for work, so we'll see how that goes. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm glad to be finally over this illness. It was really kicking my butt, but seem to be a lot better now. Now with a couple of days off, I'll be able to reduce the stress because work can be fairly stressful. So again, I thank you very much for your time. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to put them at the comment section of the YouTube video or send me an email at niagaraedge@gmail.com. And I respond to everyone. It's not a lot of comments, but anything that you'd like to talk about, any subject you'd like me to discuss. I'll be talking more about money as well coming up because I'm on a tight budget, so that's something I'm going to focus on. So basically, money and health are the two areas which I'm going to be talking about a little bit more often. Hopefully, do a few more videos and go from there. Um, so if you do like this video, please click the like button at the bottom of the video. And I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. And if I don't have another video before the weekend, have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you all soon. All right, thank you. Bye.